Yeah, I don't know that I would. In talking about both Dwayne and Luther, they're both guards that have versatility to them. In particular, because of their size, and Luther's versatility defensively is terrific. I really believe he can guard three positions for sure. And I think that they complement each other very well, I think, and we'll see because we obviously anticipate playing them together quite a bit. You know, Dwayne is a prolific shooter. He is a very capable shooter. He's high level when it comes to that, and he can make plays with the ball in his hands, and he can facilitate for others. Luther can as well. Luther is a paint touch guy, but he can also make threes, and he brings an edge and a competitiveness in how he plays on both ends. I really think they're going to complement each other well. I haven't, you know, people have asked me, hey, what position are they? And I think we just kind of look at them as you know, playmaking guards. And you know, we've talked plenty about the game has become a little bit more positionless, and there's great value now in versatility versus you do need a point guard, obviously, that has feel and can run your team. And which one of those two would fall more in line with that right now, I think it kind of remains to be seen. The thing I'm excited about is they can both play 2 or 3 perimeter positions when we, you know, because we're going to play a 3-guard lineup as well.
And I guess along the lines of versatility, Jaden seems like he's obviously very versatile from the 4 position as well. Is there potential for him to be like a 3-4 and a 5 in your system?
You know, I think that we'll play at times 2 forwards. So I think that, you know, his development's kind of interesting because he kind of grew up being a 3, and then he grew. And he grew both in height, and he grew in, you look at his frame, his body. So his dad has really worked with him on playing with his back to the basket and developing that game around the basket a little bit as he's become bigger and stronger. And he's done well with that. What he's really done, he's a prolific rebounder. But I think he's going to have to also continue to grow in the area of being versatile defensively. And that's what I'm continuing to challenge him with. But I do think offensively, he can play multiple positions. And when we play, you know, 2 forwards, and we don't necessarily play a traditional post, because that'll happen at times. Everybody in college basketball does that now to a certain degree, where, you know, you're not playing a traditional 5-man the entire 40 minutes. I could see him being one of those 2 forwards we play.
Adam asked you about kind of the class coming together pretty quickly, and I know you had a big week back in September, and you sort of touched on it already before, but now that you can put names on it, just how big was that week in terms of commitments and kind of the lead up to that week again?
It was really important, and it was, you know, obviously once I probably didn't answer that question very well from Adam, you know, once we were able to assess our needs, and once we were able to know what our staff was going to look like, it was an all-consuming effort to this recruiting class. And that's not unlike anybody who kind of starts a new job. What helped us is we did have some established relationships, but not everybody in this class came from established relationships that we had at Butler. So I just give our staff a lot of credit. I really do. I think the number of quality official visits that we had lined up in a short amount of time, and the fact that we were able to identify, and we were, you know, to be honest with you, the guys that we identified, all 4 of these, I would say we identified as a priority. We really did. And you know, you know, there were others that we certainly prioritized, that either because of timing or they chose another school, but these 4 we prioritized, and to be able to get them is exciting. But it was certainly all-consuming, and just feel really good that it was able to come together like it did. Obviously, you don't anticipate a week like that, but as I said back a couple weeks ago, and as I told my staff, hey, let's just keep doing what we're doing, and eventually there's going to be dividends that are going to pay off, because as we were hearing things from families based on their visits or how they felt about us, I knew it was just a matter of time. I know there was probably some panic among our fan base. I don't really pay attention to all of that because there's panic. If you did, right, we could panic about everything. So I try not to pay attention to it, but I just felt like if we just kept doing what we were going to do, we were going to see some results.
Chris, with Justin specifically, he had been committed before. What were his concerns when you were recruiting him? What concerns did he have in his commitment?
With Justin, it was just a matter of, I got to know Justin's family pretty well because I recruited his brother when I was at Butler. So I got to know his dad and mom pretty well, but did not know Justin. For Justin, it was we kind of told him this, and we were slow to the process. When we got the job, there was kind of a lot being thrown at us. Kids were close to making decisions, and we had heard, hey, this kid's close to making a decision, and it was like, we just wanted to take stock of where we were at, and if that meant we weren't able to get involved with some of the 18 kids or what, that's fine. With Justin, we just said, once I realized that his process was going to be a little bit slower, we said that's great because it'll give us a chance to understand, why he committed, and then look to open it up. And we got a great feel for that. And then it'll give him a chance to get to know us, and he'll get to see in how we follow him in July, our commitment to him. And we saw. I always told him, I said we should have a trophy up in my office for the head coach that saw you play the most in July. I would get it for sure. So we wanted him to feel that, and we really like what he's going to bring as kind of a versatile guard, wing, forward, whatever you want to call him. He's just a basketball player. But there was definitely for him a feeling out process on both of our ends, and it wasn't rushed, which is what I liked, and I think his family appreciated that too.